What's up, Mike?
Nothing much. What's going on, man?
Now, I just got home and chilling, waiting to do this one, do this episode.
Got you, got you. Well, doesn't seem my headphones are working, so I'm gonna take those off.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring in my co-host Daniel, and then we get going. All right.
Okay, that works.
I just sent him an invite.
Okay.
There he is.
How you doing?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. How are you guys?
We're doing awesome, man. Like I said, I just got ready to do this episode.
Yep, let's go.
Yep. So I'm gonna introduce you guys and myself, and we can get going.
All right.
Hello, everyone.
Cool.
Hello, everyone. This is Vibe, and and our guest is Mike, and then our co-host Daniel is on the show as well. Hey guys, what's up?
What's up?
How y'all doing?
What's going on?
I'm on
We're good.
just
Doing great.
midway
Doing great.
this episode. So yeah, just go ahead and talk to us about the what do you feel about the NFL free agency so far?
Well, it's been interesting. You've had people show up in different places that you wouldn't think. You've had people changing to go to rival teams, people get traded to rival teams, and quarterbacks that are holding teams hostage,
Aaron
I would
Rodgers.
say, like Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, yeah, definitely. But it's been quite interesting. I never thought I'd see Russell Wilson in a New York Giants jersey, let alone Jameis Winston. That's an interesting quarterback room if I've ever seen
Yeah.
one.
As a Dallas Cowboy fan, seeing Russell Wilson in a Giants uniform makes me sick to my stomach because I know that Russell Wilson still has something in the tank.
Yeah.
Eh, depends on the day or the team, I would say. But hey, he definitely has something left in the tank. Just not sure what all that something is. But hey, he's in the right spot because I know definitely in New York City, I know that he's gonna like it. I definitely know that Sierra's going to like it being in New York City.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: How long has it been since you started your podcast?
How long has it been since I started my podcast?
Yeah.
I started the Torn in the AFC South podcast. Let's see, 20. It was 4 years ago. It'd be 4 years ago this May. I actually began going on. It was an app called the Haps app way back when, back in 2020, back during the pandemic. And I would go on there and review or give previews for Tennessee Titans games. And then after the game, I'd give the breakdown of how they lost or how they won and how closely they played aligned to the things I had talked about. Did that for the whole season. And then I also was like, how can I keep this up? Can I really keep this up doing the Tennessee Titans or talking about the Tennessee Titans all off season? I thought about it and I was like, okay, looked around. There wasn't really anybody talking about the AFC South and kind of, bringing that division to the forefront. So I decided, hey, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to create that show. I'm going to take about the bull by the horns and go ahead and create that show and make it a year-round show talking about football and specifically the AFC South.
Yep. Yeah. How how did you? Was it like myself where it was COVID and I just started messing around with this IG live.
Well, I didn't really do, more IG Live or anything like that. I just, I've always been a sports fan, always been a guy that talks sports, always been a person that I used to play. I played all the way through college in football anyway. So,
What'd you play?
you know, I,
What position?
I played safety.
Sorry. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So I pretty much had known college, known football in and out for my entire life. So, with that being said, that's how I got involved. That's how I got talking about it. And, I just had a passion for talking about it. So I decided I was going to, go ahead and start, talking about it more and talking about it more on the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I looked at your page and I was like, let me see, let me see if Mike wants to come on because he he interviewed like a lot of people that we want to interview at some point. We're gonna get there. And
Mhm.
uh, by the way, thank you for reaching out to Nick on our behalf.
Yeah, no problem. No problem at all.
Yeah. So so I, so and so being it's always about. I would assume it's always about sports. So uh, so basically, how do you go about getting your guests?
Honestly, it's all about connections and being afraid of the word, not being afraid of the word no. The biggest reason I think a lot of people fail and a lot of people don't get the guests they want to get is because they don't reach out to them or they're afraid of maybe they're going to say no. So you got to get over that and not be afraid of the word no. It's the first thing. Second thing is, always reach out in a respectful manner. A lot of times people will reach out and say, "Hey, I'd love to have you on my show." But the thing I try to do is I try to give them who I am, what my show is, why I want to bring them on the show, the time, all those different things that basically give them a breakdown of everything, in that one shot, because that one shot could be the only shot you get to talk to that person. So I try to break all those things down, do all those things in one shot to that person. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. That is just a part of the game. And the way I look at it is if someone doesn't, reach back out to me or catch up to me after the fact, then I'm like, okay, cool. Well, maybe it's just not my time just now. Because to be quite honest, I mean, I reached out to one of my guests. I probably tried to talk to for or get on my show for about a year and a half.
Yeah,
Never happened. Never happened. Never happened. And all of a sudden, boom, it happened. A year and a half, 2 years later.
That's persistence and patience.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I mean, it's like this podcast. We send messages out, and we wait. Doesn't matter how long it's gonna take.
hmm Also, one thing I would tell you is be interactive with the person that you're trying to reach out to. Don't just try to reach out to them just because you see them,
Yeah,
because people understand that they're people just like they're humans and people just like we are. They can tell when someone's just reaching out to them as opposed to actually interacts with them, actually digs what they do, things like that. Because there are a few people that I've reached out to and now have established relationships with that honestly, I was a fan of their work. I watched what they did. I could, reach out to them that I felt they did a great job. Things like that. Those things go a long way in terms of showing people that you're not only a person that wants to talk to them, reach out to them, but you're a person that actually wants to actually cultivate and build a relationship with them, and with a friendship or a relationship, business wise or whatever, as well, instead of just having them on your show.
absolutely, absolutely. We try to do that, and
hmm
and and it works out for us as patients because there's I wouldn't say there's people out there like us
hmm
that's doing a podcast like this, two guys in wheelchairs. So, and we also understand that people probably haven't seen us do they kind of do it. So they kind of say, "Huh, this is awesome now. Let me go join the podcast."
And this is new because you don't see this a lot.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
That's true. But the way I see it is, the greatest thing is you don't see it a lot because you're doing and creating your own lane.
yeah. So go ahead, Daniel.
So, what do you think was the steal of free agency for any team, just like in general?
Well, I'm gonna obscure when it comes to that, and I'm going to actually go out to LA. Not going to
All right.
say well, I'm going to say one. One of those is going to be, I think, Najee Harris, I think, is going to be a steal for the Los Angeles Chargers because he fits that style offense, run the run, 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 run. It's basically what Jim Harbaugh likes to do. But another steal is a former Los Angeles Charger to me. I think Josh Palmer going to the Buffalo Bills is actually a steal of a pick. I believe he was very underutilized last year because they tried to force Quentin Johnston upon us, and then also tried to, and the rookie from Georgia was really really good too. But I think that Josh Palmer was underutilized, and I think with him going to Buffalo and them needing another wide receiver, a veteran wide receiver, he can do some very very good things. He can beat you over the top. He can do the possession things. He can make those difficult catches as well. And I think he's going to end up being a 1,000-yard wide receiver for them next year.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what you think about Cooper Cup going back to Seattle?
Well, honestly, I mean, it's a pretty good fit for him. I do wonder about the quarterback position because, of course, Sam Darnold is always going to, he's eventually going to be Sam Darnold. It's just a matter of when. Last year, he had a very, very good year all the way until the end when he became the Sam Darnold that we were used to seeing. Now it's a question of does he become that in Seattle? I'm still kind of on the fence there. He isn't going to the greatest of quarterbacks, so that's why I'm like, I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, but it's not necessarily a great situation for him, to me, for Cooper Kupp. But we'll see what happens. You got Jackson Smith and Jigba on one side and him on the other. You got a solid defense. You got a new offensive coordinator that's putting in a new system. I mean, it's just a lot going on to me. But, it is Cooper Kupp, and Cooper Kupp is solid. And, if he can stay healthy, he's definitely going to be a contributor. Just a matter of can his quarterback get him the football and can the offense hold up as well?
Yeah.
Darnold isn't horrible. He's just hit or miss.
Yeah, that's the problem. He can't be hit or miss. Well, I
In
would
the
say this.
NFL.
Yeah, he can't be hit or miss in the NFL. And the thing is, he's elevated himself to be a hit or miss type quarterback. But before that, he was like the Forrest Gump of quarterbacks. You never knew what you were going to get. I mean, you didn't.
You
So,
really
and
did put that analogy.
so it just I can't necessarily depend on or say I can depend on him based off of one solid year. And props to him for having that one solid year. But I can't say I can just be like, okay, cool. I can depend on this guy to do this, 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 and this, and he's going to be all right for me. I can't say that for Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about the draft coming up this year?
Well, honestly, I think the Tennessee Titans have done the best way of playing everything close to the vest. They're exploring all options, whether it be trading the pick, getting Shador Sanders or Cam Ward with the number one overall pick. Even though a lot of people, including probably me, think it's going to be Cam Ward. But they're keeping it close to the vest and exploring all options and doing it the best way possible because by doing it this way, at the last minute, who knows? They could have somebody want to give you 2 or 3 first-round picks for that number one pick. So they're definitely doing it well and definitely exploring all their options. I think that I do think that Abdul Carter, I'm just very interested in him. He could be Micah Parsons, but he could also end up being Courtney Brown. For those who don't remember, Courtney Brown was a 2000 draft pick from Penn State that played defensive end.
On the
Micah
Browns,
Parsons
correct?
didn't play defensive end. So, and, he played for the Browns, yeah, and he played for the Browns and the Broncos, actually. And he never was the guy that everyone thought he was. So it could go one of two ways with Abdul Carter. Now, is Abdul Carter athletically more gifted than Courtney Brown was? Yes. Could he end up, kind of going down that path potentially of Courtney Brown in his career? Yes, that could happen also. But of course, there's the upside that is Micah Parsons and the carbon copy that some think he is of Micah Parsons. So that'll be interesting as well. Travis Hunter, I'm going to be interested to see whatever team drafts him and see if they go mainly wide receiver with him or mainly corner or a mixture of both. We'll see what happens there. And Shador Sanders, I mean, I honestly, I kind of don't like a lot of the criticism he's gotten for being a brash quarterback. I'm like, okay, isn't he supposed to be confident? Do you want to be meek and mild in talking to you as a quarterback? I think I don't want my quarterback to be that way. So, to me, he's a confident quarterback, and he has things like ball placement that he does well. He also has things like anticipation. And he understands offenses. Like he's mentioned, he's had multiple offensive coordinators over his career, and he's came out every single year, looked good, figured things out, and made things happen for his team, whether it's win, losing, or any of those different scenarios at all. And plus, he's done it without a really good offensive line. So imagine what he could do if he had actually a solid offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, Travis Hunter and him
Mm-hmm.
possibly teaming up together is huge.
Imagine, I would say this: imagine if Travis Hunter does get drafted, where a lot of people have him getting drafted by the New England Patriots. Imagine, imagine what Mike Vrabel can do with that offense. You got Christian Gonzalez, or that defense. I'm sorry, Christian Gonzalez on one side, Travis Hunter on the other potentially. Then if you put him on offense, Drake May doesn't have a number one wide receiver. He fits that bill. Then you can slide in. You got Stephon Diggs there. You got Mac Hollins they brought over from the Buffalo Bills as well. So you've got pieces if that works out. But if it doesn't, hey, it'd be interesting. And then another team, if he does make it past the four spot, what if Jacksonville gets him?
Yeah,
Now that will be
Ooh,
quite interesting to me because they did spend money to pay Jordan Lewis to make him the highest paid nickelback in the NFL.
yeah, they
There's
stole
plans
him
to
from
move
us.
plans to move Jerry and Jones outside potentially. But if Travis Hunter comes, then you could move Travis Hunter outside. You could have Tyson Campbell on the other side. You have Jordan Lewis in the slot, and then offensively you have BTJ, which is Brian Thomas Jr. Had one of the best rookie seasons of any wide receiver in recent history. You put him there on one side. You got Travis Hunter there. You got Gabe Davis for the who used to play for the Buffalo Bills. You've got De'Ami Brown to play for the Washington Commanders. You've got a pretty talented young wide receiver core. With Gabe Davis being the veteran of the crew. So,
And they have a new
you know,
coach.
and they got a new coach in Liam Cohen who likes to run the football with multiple different running backs and explosion plays. Boy, oh boy, that would be quite interesting, especially for the Texans, which they are the reigning champions in the AFC South.
yeah.
I
So,
feel like
go
in
ahead.
years past, like we've seen the AFC South as just another division, but
Mhm.
now it's like been really like everyone's pretty formidable there.
Uh, I would say this: last year, everyone thought they were going to be formidable, and then it just exploded in everyone's face. So I would kind of pump the brakes on that one to say whether it's going to be formidable. Now, it looks like it with some of the pieces added and different places and whatever, but also you got to remember Houston's probably going to come down to the pack maybe a little bit more because they traded away Laramie Tunzel, traded away Kenyon Green. That's a guard and a tackle that started for you. They brought in some veterans, Lincoln Tomlinson. He's been around the league a little bit. They brought in Cam Robinson, who is a former Jacksonville Jaguar, who got traded to the Minnesota Vikings. Now is back in the division. They've got a couple other guys they traded for that were backups or former starters. So they're fostering a thing of competition, but also, they may take a step back in terms of what they have offensively in their offensive line, which will be quite interesting with a young quarterback that they're trying to groom and grow and still some more. And they're going to have to pay, along with they just paid Derek Stingley Jr. They're going to have to pay Will Anderson Jr. And they're also probably going to have to pay Jalen Petrie at some point. So they've got some decisions to make. This is a really pivotal draft for them when it comes to building up the trenches and getting younger on the offensive line and probably some other positions as well.
Yeah. Uh, I got a question for you. With the talent you're just displaying about football, did you ever go to that football draft?
Did I ever go to the draft, the NFL draft?
Yeah,
Yeah, I actually was at the one and covered the one that was here in Nashville, the one that Kyler Murray was the number one overall pick.
yeah.
Yeah, I was actually at that draft. I was actually on the red carpet. Got to interview a few players as well. So I actually got to interview Devin White when that played for Tampa Bay. Yeah, I actually got
Your
to
skill,
interview him.
And I believe his
What's
father
that?
was in the league as well.
I honestly I don't remember that one, but I will
Or I
say
could
that
be
Devin
thinking
White
about
was
another
quite
person.
interesting. Well, I would say this. Devin White is quite interesting. He definitely talked about the competition in LSU and how it pushed him to be a better linebacker with all the competitive players that were around him and just, I mean, all the talented players they had. I mean, offensive wise in practice, I mean, you had to be on your P's and Q's if you were a defensive player. With all that talent, you got, your Odell Beckhams, your golly, now I'm forgetting names. But anyway, you got your Malik Neighbors that just came out. You got your Brian Thomas Jr. was there. You had your Odell Beckham Jr.'s. You had your golly, there's so many different names that came in wide receiver from that team and
That
that
draft
just that
class.
whole decade of LSU football.
like I was saying, your skill for football. I watched some of your episodes. I actually post them. Your skill for football is off the chain, and I give you kudos.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. It's definitely come from years and years of watching football, years and years of playing football, and just kind of being able to break down concepts. That's the biggest thing that I try to explain to people. Don't try to break down the entire picture. Put things in concepts. If you put things in concepts, it makes it so much easier to understand, like zone concept or a man-to-man or a man zone, and little different keys that tell you what kind of concept each side is trying to, like, if you have man on one side and zone on the other, it'll kind of tell you what's going on and what they're trying to do and kind of give you the key pointers. It's kind of like you're being a detective of a defense or offense.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
like go ahead, Danny.
because there's captains on like each side of the ball. There's captains on defense, captains on offense.
Yeah,
Mhm. There is, but there also is key indicators. Like, say, offensively, you have a guy going in motion. He's not just going in motion for any old reason. There's a couple different reasons. He's going in motion because he's either handing the football that way. He's going in motion because they're flipping the formation, or they're going in motion to actually understand whether it's a zone or it's man defense. Because if a man goes with him, it's man defense. If he doesn't, it's a zone. If they figure that part out, it kind of may change the route or the depth of the route or just what kind of route formation they have in general. Because sometimes when you see them go in motion, you see the quarterback will raise up and like change the play or goes to something else because he knows whether he's got so many different men in the box. He knows whether he's got a zone or a man just based off those simple movements alone.
yeah, man. And for me, and it all started with basketball for me. So if you talk to me about basketball, football is coming
Mhm.
around for me. Not all the way there yet for me, but basketball wise is all there because if you explain to me the tape of a player and I watch it over and over again,
Mhm.
it's coming football is coming around. It's not all the way there. So so did you ever think about being a coach?
I actually did coach Little League football and Little League basketball before, so I've done those things before. Coach putting people in zones, teaching man-to-man defense, the basics, all those different things as well. So I've definitely done that stuff. Just I know that's not for me long-term wise. I did not want to be a coach long-term wise. It just wasn't my thing.
Yeah. Nah, I would not. I definitely understand that. And, uh, sports is my thing, especially basketball.
Hmm.
So we're trying
Mm-hmm.
here. So Daniel and I are trying to go to a sporting event where we can have microphones and ask players questions.
Uh-huh.
So that's our goal at some point.
Yep.
Well,
We're just
definitely keep working, keep building at it. Keep I would say also another thing is just to make sure and not only to, kind of critique your episodes or, ask people's opinions in terms of, constructive criticism of your episodes that, is coming from a place of love and a place of trying to help you, but also watch other podcasts and things like that and kind of pick up tips. Cause I mean, honestly, I'll give you a few people I actually watch when in terms of podcasts, I watch Bomani Jones, I watch Dominic Foxworth, I watch Jamel Hill. I do watch. Let's see. There's more that I watch, and it's names are escaping me right now. I do watch Vinny Goodwill. I watch a lot of different podcasts to basically pick up different things. I watched my guy Raphael Haynes, 3 Point Conversion. Picked up a few things from Raphael. I mean, Nick Hamilton, definitely picking up some things from him. There's things to learn from everybody out there. But I'm not saying you're going to make it, you're just stealing their style. No, you're not stealing their style, but you're learning and crafting something that is your own within what you learned, basically, is how I kind of put my spin on different things and grow from there. So, yeah, definitely, do those things. Of course, study and then also try to do all the best you can in terms of doing your homework on the guest or the person you're trying to get. 'Cause that also helps when you're making your pitch to try to bring them on your show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm. Now, I can
Yep.
talk basketball too, but I just don't. I don't. That's the one thing I know a lot about all sports, so I could talk basketball too. But I just know that this is what I chose to do. I can't, but I can definitely break down some basketball backwards and forwards as well. I just chose to do football.
It's more of a forte thing then.
Yeah,
Nah, it's just I don't know. It's just what had ended up happening, and me figuring out like, okay, cool, I can do this. Nobody else is doing this division. Nobody else is okay. Let me just jump in and do this and take on all 4 of these teams and bring everybody news and bring on guests that cover all 4 of these
yeah,
teams.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Hmm.
absolutely. I'll be right back. Let me turn on the light. I'll be right back.
All right.
But
So, how do you think the Jaguars are going to do with the new coaching hire?
I don't know, but I will say this: they better do better than his opening saying Duval, because I didn't like that. Duval. I was like, come on, guy. It sounded like he was about to sing the Love Boat. He really did sound like he was about to sing the Love Boat. So I was like, yeah, nah, don't do that no more. But he worked on it since then, and he does sound very competent. He also is a guy that a lot of people don't know this. There's 2 people in the NFL that he actually coached that actually are within the division.
Really?
One of those guys is the quarterback for the Tennessee Titans last year, and Will Levis. He actually coached Will Levis at Kentucky, and also Luca LaFortner, the backup center for the Jaguars. He was his coach in college too, in terms of offensive coordinator for both of those guys.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, man, it's been a pleasure. Well, let us know if you want to ever come back and break down some more football with us.
yes, sir, no problem. Thank you all for having me. I appreciate it.
And thank you for taking time on a work day to come hang with us. We appreciate you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you again. Thank you again for the opportunity. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. If you have any other questions or anything like that, just let me know.
Okay, we will. Danny,
All
you
right.
guys.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
I got you. There you have it, guys. It's a wrap for the season. It's a wrap for episode 21, and we'll come back soon with more episodes.
Yep.
All right, man. Have a good night. I'll see you when I see you.
All right. Sounds good, bro.
All right, you too.